Hey guys, what is up? So this is second take, a third take, a 100 take for the ASL podcast episode. Oh, I have got a pretty much great host with me this time, and then we're talking since episode 002 that we're having a Bishal Daa as guest, and finally after lots of weeks and then like lots of struggle, we even have to pay him for this pod. That's really hard for us, even though we're not earning from YouTube. So yeah. And then I would like to introduce the great Bisol Dakar over there, and then rest of the guys you already know them, you know. So Bisol Da, starting with the four and then intro, the build up things. So how's your week been, Bisol Da?
It has been pretty normal because the week had just started. It's Monday. Oh shit! It's Tuesday already. So yeah, but the weekend was good. It was really good.
Yeah.
That was a
So
great
What about
answer.
you, man?
I loved it because, like, when we say like, "How has your week been?" We usually go through, you know, weekly recap because since the last part. But because Bismillah is a guest, his week has only started, man. Himal, you asked the wrong question.
yeah.
Look, you could have asked me how was my weekend, and I could have given you a better answer. But
Yeah,
Okay. No worries. I have got lots of questions like
that
will
was
be
fun.
coming up. So what about you guys? You guys can just wrap it up within minute or two
Yeah, yeah,
if you
sure.
want. I
I
would like
think
to
I,
give.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Just
Sure,
the
sure. Yeah.
same week, I guess. Really monotonous stuff. Nothing new. Only the only new thing is the NPL, and yeah, really enjoying watching NPL and supporting Sudhir Pashchim. Yeah, we're gonna get it. They
Uh-huh.
lost yesterday, but whatever. So yeah, it's been going pretty
Uh-huh.
decent as usual, college and work, and I guess that's it. Nothing new from my side. What about you, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, today is the last day of my finals, and then we'll be over with this, and it's vacation time. I'll be going to Texas this 13th December. And from today, let's see what I will be doing throughout all these free time. Probably Himal's assignments or something, because I'm always pressurized to do that for some reason. But yeah, I mean, it's going pretty fine for now. Like, there's
Yeah,
nothing new, nothing
this
special,
guy in
but
front of public.
Chris, Chris is finally speaking his heart out. Now that Visala is here, Chris
yeah,
feels safe and he can speak anything. He
yeah.
can,
I feel,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. I feel safe. It's my personal space right here. But yeah, it's going pretty all right.
You see how
Yeah.
Chris was so oppressed, man. Himal, you shouldn't have done that, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
no worries.
Yeah, what about you
Thanks for
anyway?
stating, guys. About me, everything is same. The new thing that I have got today is like I have got results for my first semester, and then it was basic. It was what I expect, and then so so plus point are like I have to give one additional information. We three, me, Isola, and another guy with a bald hair. We're doing the CCNA, and then the reason for the CCNA is like I've got less marks in networking, and then I need to cover these things. And then like networking is like in general, rather than like accept the theory part, networking is quite like interesting. So we're doing the CCNA right now on my breaks. So other than that, let's get started on the poll, and I will start asking the actual questions. So guys, be ready to give your opinions or like be like engaged with me.
Hmm.
So Bisalda, if
Hmm.
you're still awake, I would like to ask question with you. I want to ask is like, so it's been 8 months or 9 months since I came here. So life has been a roller coaster ride, you know. So I'm asking this question to you because you can feel me more than other people out there in the audience or like even a member of my podcast as you're already settled down in Australia. So how how like how did you manage to find a meaning in life when life was totally fucked up? Like That's my question. Like sometimes, like you feel like this is too much, or like sometimes you may feel like what's going on, and then like every single time, like life is fully fucked up, messed off. You even try to give 100%, but like this is not sufficient. Like I don't know even if life is wrong or like you're doing wrong at your life. So that's my question, I guess.
Hmm.
You can ask me if you're not clear. I will try to.
Nah, this is really good question, man. So after, like, when I was back home, everything seemed okay. I thought that I had figured out life, but it was right. Like I was in 20s. I thought that I had figured out life, but it was not that simple. It was not. I came over here. I stayed with my friend. I thought he was a friend. Like I got betrayed. After a month, like I had $2,500 cash with me, and then I said to my friend, "Hey, can we go and set up my bank account?" A friend of mine said to me that, "Oh, we're brothers. What are you even saying? Oh, we'll just keep this money in there. We'll just use it." I said, "All right." And he was into gambling. He was into like prosies. If you don't know what prosies are, they are prostitutes.
Aussie was, you know.
Yeah, in Australia we say prosies. But yeah, he was into all of that shit, and then and he even bought a car with my money. It was like back then, 7 years back. $700 was a big deal. He bought a car, and I was just so lost, and I was like, okay. And I said, look, I completed my bachelor's degree with that friend, and like I I, I was thinking that okay, this is fine. He's my friend. He's my friend, and I backed up, and the day came where I had no money to buy a piece of bread or to eat anything. Forget about rice, forget about vegetable, forget about meat. There was no money for bread as well. So I've been through that. I had $2. It was the time of festival, so it was Dasai during that time. So I had $2, like a $2 coin with me, and everyone was playing cards over there, and in the house where I live. So I was like, okay, so I'll just put this $2 over there. If I win, I win. If I lose everything. So I played cards with that $2, made it up to 50. Went out to the grocery, bought some groceries, cooked rice, meat, vegetables, and I served that friend who betrayed me. So that's one thing. And then the guy was not working for almost 7 months. He never found a job, and his parents were supplying money. Oh, and he was managing somehow. I don't know how he survived for 7 months, but he did. Good, like that's really good. So I started doing cleaning job. It started at 9 a.m. in like 9 p.m. at night till 6 a.m. in the morning, and I used to get $100 cash. And I did training for 15 days for free without getting any penny, even a cent. Like it was shit. So, and that's my wife. All right, she's calling. So we can just for now, for fun of it, we'll just hang up. Yeah. So, and I got him into the job. So he managed to be friends with everybody, but not me. Right. And I was like, where did I go wrong? I had no clue, man. So it was Nepalese guys who were doing that like who took the contract from Indian bloke, and Indian bloke he said that, oh, you're such a good person. Like, not a good person. I was never a good person. I'm not a nice person. But I was strong willed. And he said, oh, you can be a team leader. Just grab these boys, come to my team. That's what I did. I grabbed all of them. Fuck Nepalese guy who like where I did internship for cleaning for 15 fucking days.
That, that's
So
totally
I
good.
grabbed everybody and I went to this Indian bloke. He paid $20 more, $120 for same amount of work, and I was team leader for them. So like for a few months, it was good. I was enjoying it. Like, not the work, but I was learning something. I was doing what I was actually doing back home. Like, I always told my brothers what to do, and that's what I did to those guys. I don't care if they are fucking 20 years older than me. But I would say do it, then do it. Then what happened was my team was able to achieve best results. So we used to do strip and sealing in goals. That's polishing the floor. And so one of the goals was polished in such a way that the general manager from South Australia came to see the store how it is polished. But Hima, look, when you ask that question, look, I feel the same because I had no one. I had no one like for almost 5, 6 years. I never put a tikka in my head. I never celebrated Dasai. I used to smoke and enjoy and do everything, consume alcohol with my friends. I never did that here. And they struggle when people say, mom used to say that if you struggle now, then the good days will come. But I used to be like, when? Mom, when? It's not happening. It's never. I don't think I'll ever achieve that. But she was persistent. Mom is great. Um, like she said, do it now. Days will come. Do it now. The days will come. And it did. Like, so, just have patience. When people say have faith, have faith.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
one thing that I've learned from Bisalda, and probably this might be a thing that actually changed him, is the ability to forgive others. And like, just to highlight, like, there was a time when Bishalda was writing different quotes, and he was sending me. And there is one quote that I really wanted to highlight because it really depicts the moment when this probably was the time when he was betrayed, right? But there is this quote that goes, there are times in life where mistakes are made which can be changed, but we can make the change, and the time is now. Forgiveness is like a tree which is wild and free. Forgive others and let them be free, and forgive yourself and be free. So this was written by Bisalla, and probably this was around the time when he actually felt like this was probably a thing that actually changed his perspective on how we should be able to forgive people, move on with life, and not have the hatred within ourselves. And eventually, like, everything comes back, everything you do comes back to you. Whether you forgive, whether you hurt others, everything at the end of the day is going to come back to you. And just have faith, look forward to the good days, and do hard work right now. And I feel like that was one. Like, I just looked at the quote and I actually felt like this was actually around the time when he was actually betrayed. And this is one thing that we actually haven't experienced, but we could learn about it a lot from what he tells us. And it could probably help you too in some ways, Himo. Yeah, and what do you guys think about it?
Hmm. I did we did so like My mind is fully now, man. Like it was so I don't know. The words are not coming out of my mouth because like this and that it's such a great talk or whatever. And then Chris went on with that banger, man. It was great. But like, yeah, I think at this point I'm completely blank, so I'll hand it off to Himal maybe, and I'll I'll get back.
Why did you even start? Like, why
I,
didn't even you
I
start?
I
Like,
just wanted to express
yeah,
that I'm completely, clueless on what to say, and I'm just having a great time just listening and trying to absorb things.
it goes same for me. Like, I'm still calculating these stuff. Like, I'm evaluating these stuff in my case or my scenario. I don't know, but like to certain extent, I think like it's, as per like I listened to Bishal Daa, some of the stories from his journey like seems to be true for me too, to some extent, I guess. The toxicity and then the other stuffs, and then like everything like getting fucked up with Nepalese people and hating Nepalese and Indian peoples for no reason, trying to get out of the comfort zone or like whatever it is. I don't
Yeah.
know. So like
Yeah, I
I'm
think like
totally lost, and then like
in
I've
in
got
terms of in terms of forgiveness, I guess what I can say is that holding grudges against someone is definitely going to affect you in the long run than like forgiving them. Because yeah, I think yeah, I can relate to it as well to some extent, not to the extent that you might be facing or be still have faced, but like yeah, at the end of the day, having a good relationship, a good relation with someone is always better than, like having a bad taste. Uh, because yeah, you will be drawn into that negativity if you like keep that maybe happening. But yeah, the having
yeah, it's like
some yeah, having
you're
your
digging a hole
Mhm.
for other, but like you will get eventually, you'll you'll get taste of it. So yeah, it was amazing. It was great. I don't know. Are you guys stuck or like it's from
No,
my side? Because
no, no,
like
no. It's all
everyone
good,
is
I
like
think.
looking around there somewhere. So
No, we're just reflecting on it, right? And there was one time, I guess it was around high school, and there used to be certain incidents with my school life, and I used to share it with Bisalda. And the thing that always fascinated me was Bisalda had a similar experience, a similar incident, and he always had some advice for me. And the advice always worked. Like for some reason, he always like whenever I felt like I was suffering, I knew that he suffered more and he had learned from it. And he always used to tell me the good parts and the things to ignore, the things to learn, and the things to improve from it, right? And there were these incidents, like it happened more than 4 or 5 times, and I always used to share with Bisalda, and he always used to give me some good advice. And the best part about it is even he could relate with it. He always had a real world example, and he didn't just give me some textbook kind of knowledge. He always had his experience with him, all of the things that he learned actually from the incidents, and it actually felt real, and it always helped me. And I don't know if Bishalda actually, you know, feels like it, but for us, the juniors, the ones after Bisalda, right, we are actually influenced a lot more than what Bisalda actually thinks that we are influenced with him. We are influenced to another level when it comes to whenever Bisalda starts talking, then we are there listening. We are active listeners, right? And like
Even
it's even
Himalayas.
hard to comprehend how much yeah, it's even hard to comprehend how much respect we have for Bisalla and whatever experience he shares. There's a lot to learn from it, and we are there listening attentively. And I think it's the same for all of us, all the juniors out there. And it's really a privilege, actually.
Yeah, actually, Chris, you really pointed a great thing out because, like, Sometimes, I think Bisala, like I tried to convey everything to Bisala during our Langtang trek, how we all basically feel about stuffs and like his advices and stuff like that. But I think it's still, I still fell a bit short because uh, it just doesn't feel enough, like the impact is so huge, the influence is so huge that no matter how many times that we try to say it, no matter how many times we try to like convey it, it just doesn't feel enough. Because like yeah, ever since I was a child, for me, Bisala was basically the flying flying angel or something, that I always wanted to chase, and it's still the same now as well. And yeah, everything coming out of Salah's mouth is basically, words of wisdom for us. And yeah, I said during Langtang, I guess, Salah, if Salah said that poop is, really a great thing, then we'd be, we'd be believing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really interesting thing. But like, one thing I wanted to ask is that, Bisala, how did you get this nature, like the way you analyze things deeply? Because this is come on, Himal. Yeah, so as I was saying,
We already asked him that. That's why like I'm laughing.
sorry,
And then like, I don't think so he will be saying this stops in pole.
I didn't get you, mate.
Like we already asked the question in Nepali version, and then we already got
I
an
didn't care.
answer
I was
for this
not there,
question.
so I was not there, so
Yeah,
it's
so
it's a valid question.
I doubt. I
I also
doubt
like
if
to
like
add on it, right? Like for context, Bisala was not actually how he looks right now during his junior days. He was the total opposite of it. And even my grandmother to this day, she's always amazed by this transformation, this complete 180 transformation. And there's not a single incident that can change you in this way. Like there has to be years of incidents or experience to change a person completely like that. So, and this was, uh, I think this was during the time after the betrayal phase or something. But there's also a time when Bisala became actually a lot religious than what we ever imagined he would be, right? He was believing in God. He always used to thank God for everything, always used to be grateful for it. And even the quotes that he used to write, the poems, he used to be grateful about everything and just make us realize how small we are. Like, I wouldn't say insignificant, but how small we are compared to the whole universe and how little impact we have in the actual universe itself. And there's always death waiting for us, and we have to leave all of this someday at some point. And that was one stage in Bisalda's life that I actually remember too. So there probably has to be some incident or experience that actually changed you, right? And yeah, we wanted to know about that.
If there's anything, because like there can be a no incident as well. Maybe it was a slower, gradual
you would
process.
like to say.
Yeah, so if you can think of anything, Bisala, in that regards, like how you turned out to be, writing, how you started maybe writing poems as well. That is also something that you did after you went to Australia, right? So yeah, so maybe you can, divide that into bits and then share the experience or like what caused the change.
It's like rapid. It's like it's going like rapid fire round. Like back to back questions to the guest, and then like guest is like freaking out of nowhere. Yeah, that's fun. So sorry for that.
We are better hosts than Hima, I guess.
Yeah, especially today.
Yeah, I have got my
Yeah.
own question, and then you guys didn't let me ask my question because like I've got other stuff that our guest is interested in, but like
Yeah,
like
let
pointing out your
Bisala speak,
personal.
man.
Okay.
All right. So I was 10 years old, or maybe 12, when I actually felt guilty for doing something. So what happened was Biplav, Niraj, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
We used to be three best buddies of all time. What we used to do was get the old metals, and we used to sell them, make money, and spend everything. Like we wouldn't even think about tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. If we've got 5 rupees, that's great. Okay, we'll spend all of the five. What if we've got 50? Ah, 50. All right. We want to drink Coke. We want to eat Momo. We want to eat Chow but finish everything from that 50. So we were doing like, I was leading them, yes, and we were doing business. At the age like, people used to be maybe 8 years old, Neeraj used to be 6, 7 years old, and we were doing a lot like things like that. And one day, we used to live in Gosala in Kathmandu, and Biplab came running, all hustled and pumped up. What he did was, he came to me and said, "Oh, Bishal, I found this big piece of metal in Dad's room, and I think we can sell that for more than 50 rupees." So 50 rupees used to be such a big deal to us. And then he said, "I think we can make it to 100." I was like, "Nah, there's no such thing as 100, brother." And he would say, "Oh, no, it's pretty heavy. No, we can do it." So I told him, "All right, you get that stuff and I'll wait for you on the road." He got that. It was taxi's meter. So the meter, what it does is it reads the how much kilometers you've done and how much money the passenger owns the driver and stuff like that. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh no, you've done something stupid, but let's just try and sell it." So I thought that, I don't think this is 100, but I was weighing it. Maybe 20. That's fine. 20 will work. So we went to this. I don't know. Oh, I don't have an English name for it. So kabaddi, kabaddi. Yes, we went to this kabaddi and we sold the meter, and he was like he will pay only 2 rupees for that thing, and our expectation was 100, and we were like, oh no. And what I said to Biplab was, if I'm only getting 2 rupees out of this thing, I'm gonna break this. There will be some magnets inside that, and I'll take the magnets out and we can play together. And the meter was so rigid and tough that I was throwing it, I was hitting it with stone, and I was doing everything to break it. Nah, it didn't work. It didn't break. But there were some scratches, it bent and tilted and stuff like that happened, but it didn't work. So we went to the same kabaddi again and said, "Brother, take this. Give us 2 rupees." And we used to get Coca-Cola chocolate. So 1 rupees, 4 chocolates, or three of them, and 2 rupees, six of them. So I had three. Biplab and Neeraj had one and a half, one and a half. So because I was the biggest brother, and it used to happen like, it's if it didn't happen in the past, I would make it happen in that way. So I was so stubborn and I was arrogant. I was so arrogant. Um, so we did that, and we were discussing this conversation, and I was frustrated. I was like, how can he dare to give us 2 rupees? And so Banisorama means Chris's grandmother, my grandmother as well. She was listening the conversation from the top of the building, and she was like, "Oh, what the fuck they have sold this time?" And so she called us, and I said, "Grandmom, are you calling us to eat something?" Yes. She was like, "Oh yeah, come on, yes, hurry up and come." So we went up there, and she said, "What have you sold this time? Come on, say it. What have you sold?" She was not happy, and I can imagine that. like I can imagine how frustrating it is to raise kids like that. I can't imagine if my kid is like that and I can't raise a kid like that. Nah, they did good job. So and she was like, "What have you sold?" And I said, "But you called us for eating, or that's the reason." And she was like, "You're not getting anything. You're not eating." And so I felt so bad, and um, then I went home, and I couldn't face my dad. I couldn't face my mom because I felt guilty because I had done something horrible. So we used to have this thing called not this kind of bed. It's called palang. So it has got legs, and you can get underneath the palang, and you can just lie and fucking do whatever you want. So I was hiding underneath there, not shaking, not afraid of anything, but still hiding. And Dad came out like Dad came, and he said, "What the fuck?" He was not happy as well, and he didn't even slap me or did anything. I was surprised that Dad said nothing, and that hurt it more. And because of that incident, to people have had to go to boarding school, and he stayed for in boarding school like for almost 8 years. He spent all of his early childhood where he could have become the better person. He spent all of his time over there, and there was this guilt in my heart that if I hadn't ever not like if I make a time machine, or if I get a chance to get a time machine, I could change that past. I always wanted to change that past, and even now I want to change that past. And so, so that was the first time I ever felt guilty, and I was like, I couldn't forgive myself for so many years. Then the second time I felt guilty was when I was in relationship with Rasita, and I broke her, and then I felt guilty, and I've never ever felt guilty again. But I think these experiences got, yeah, those two were my life changing experiences. One from very early childhood, and one when I had just passed out from my teenage. I was 19 or 20. So these two major incidents in my life were the main reason of how I am. And even after I came here, yeah, I used to write even before. When I was back home, I used to write. Um, but when I came here and all of that guilt, and so look, Himal, you might face the same. You might face the same. Like when you're all alone by yourself, you will start uh, thinking how your parents should have been not. They should not have scolded you, or if your dad ever hated you, he should not have done that. You go through all of these phases, and I was going through all of them. And to vent out, I used to write and write and write. Then one day, I was in this pattern where I would meet someone, have certain relationship, and then they would betray me. Meet someone again, trust them, and think them there like out. You've got everything in your heart, like all the goodness. You'll say, "Oh, I met this person called Chris, and he's so amazing, and he's my best friend. He's my work," and that person would betray you, and that person would backbite you. That person would. And I was in this pattern for almost 4 years, like 3 years. And one day I heard about this bloke called Joy Dispenza, and he was doing meditation and seminars like that. And I was like, I've tried so many things, I've done so many things. Let's just try what the meditation is. And I used all of my pain um, as a meditation. So I saw that my parents were never wrong because they were also kids when they raised me. They had no idea how to raise a kid. They didn't know. They did what they could for best of me. So I forgive. I was after realizing that it was easy for me to forgive my mother, my father, my teachers, anybody. I was very forgiving, and yeah, so that's what it is. That's how it all changed. So meditation is the key. If you want to take the advice, meditation is the key. Yes, I never ever believed in God in the past. So we used to go to Krishna temple at Gotatar. Me and Biplab, what we used to do was we used to buy some small packet of like fish, those fish, and we used to eat while watching the the ceremony or whatever festival that's happening in the temple. We used to go there, eat and relax, and we were like, "Oh, those idiots! They are praying. It never ever works." That's what I used to say. But yes, mate, deities they exist. Meditation it works.
Interesting.
Yeah, everything around is great.
Yes.
Yeah, about the the religious stuffs, we've discussed this in our previous part, and we came to a conclusion that the religious stuffs, whether they might exist or not, like it's the vibes that create a difference. Because when you go to a temple, you get a completely different vibe. It's a positive vibe, and that's what matters at the end of the day, whether gods exist or not. So yeah, definitely
Yeah.
a good thing to do. And meditation, yeah, I used to do that a lot back in the days, but like nowadays I've been procrastinating on that as well. So definitely a thing that I
Mhm.
need to get back to, because like when I was in seven or eight class, I used to meditate a lot. I once meditated for like 1.5 hours. That was my highest meditation timing, and yeah, it was a different experience. Yeah, which I need to get back to.
Yeah, definitely. It's also a
1.5 is too
moment
long.
to
Like when I
self-realize,
tried like
right?
15, more than 15 minutes was too really, really hard. And like it was like, it felt like
Uh-huh.
punishment to me. And then the reason like I had to suffer more was like, I don't know, once you get to the certain zone, like you started you started getting lots of questions, like lots of questions. I don't know. And then like whether it's correct or like whether they are like genuine question or like are they even like existing questions or not. But like you're like getting boom, and then like you're getting looped inside your question. And then like I quitted it since then, and then I have never tried after that. I need to get into it. So
I think the
yeah,
catch with
same.
meditation is that you just have to let everything go. Like the questions will come, but just don't get into that question. Just let it come and go. Just
It's like
watch
like
your head,
when
spinning around,
when you ask
and
a
just don't
question,
engage in any
you
of
didn't
those
have
thoughts.
you didn't have answer to anyone, and then you can relate, I guess, because like you're like you didn't even know anything, and then like you're asking yourself and you can't even answer anything. That's really
Yeah,
really really
that's
hard,
the
like
catch.
really.
You don't need to know the answer if you don't answer at all.
Yeah, but it's still
It takes time, but you'll get used to it if you do it more enough. It's about being
Yeah,
consistent on that.
like, I would say like time is the key. Time changes everything. Time changes hate to the love, love to the hate, everything. I don't know. Good time, mates.
Yeah.
Good time.
Happy days,
Good
mate.
things take good time.
Yeah, so I learned two slangs from Bisala. I don't know whether you call this slang or what, but like happy days, if someone asks you how's your day going, just say happy days and move on, I guess. And the other thing that you can say is living the dreams. And those are really unique way to answer the usual how's your day going question.
Yeah,
So
it's
which
more
slang?
positive, it's more optimistic, and even just a simple like living the dreams or like happy days, right? It really affects the person who's asking too. They can be positively affected by that one simple those two simple words, like happy days, and then they could be like, oh wait, this guy, I gotta be like this guy, even the two simple words could change their whole day, or their whole perception about the work and all.
Yeah,
But
it's about
yeah,
the
and
energy it carries.
yeah, like
Um,
in this day and age where everyone is busy with their own thing, the most they expect out of how's their day going is like good. There's nothing more that they would expect. And whenever someone replies
but
like, "Oh, happy days,
you know
mate,
what?
living the dream," and
No, it's
right,
like everyone is going
it
through
really
some kind
affects
of
you.
scene, but like still you have to be like good days, mate. It's like you will never go and reach out to the random people taking like, yeah, bro, life is going to shit. Like it's been like hell. You will never go and approach a random person and like random third person like this. So I think that's how it started for Aussie slang, I guess. What do you think, Bismillah? It's like normal, just casual conversation, I guess. Nothing more, nothing less. We don't have to speak any meaning of the meat, I guess.
I mean, like it's
It's
a
like,
cool one, man. Let it be cool for us. We find it cool because like
Yeah,
it's completely out of the comfort zone for the question, "How's your day been?" And
yeah.
yeah,
it's cool until or unless you're here.
See, if someone replies like they're living their dreams, like I would be happy that the whole day I would be happy for some reason, just to hear others living their dreams or something, you know?
Getting it wrong. Like it's not like in Australia you get here and you ask from anyone out there how's your day going? Yeah, living the dreams, mate. Nobody will be like this. You will get some
Yeah.
few people, not
Hmm.
every single one. You know.
yeah, that's the
Yeah,
catch.
that's the
If
thing.
Yeah,
everyone said living the dreams, it would not be so valuable. It would not be so unique.
Yeah.
And there is something else, like they also ask you if you got this from anybody, Imal, they will also ask you, "Are you winning, mate?"
Uh-huh.
And you know
are
what
you
is
winning?
what is the answer to it? Always.
Sorry,
So you will get this
always,
question as well. Someone will ask you. They will ask you, "Are you winning, mate? Are you winning?"
always,
Always, always winning,
always,
mate. Always. And
always,
when
buddy.
someone asks
Always.
me that, "Are you winning, mate?" And when I say always, feels so good.
Uh,
It's so
It's like
good.
the universal. It's like the
the, the,
music,
the,
I guess. Yeah.
you gotta carry that
How
drip,
it
that
feels like always means like always.
that confidence. It's all
Yeah,
that matters.
yeah, yeah.
hmm.
It's like yeah, great. So, what do you think about like uh, getting to know random people, Visalla? Because like I'm like always interested about like talking to the random people, like get their story, even though the story might be boring or like interesting, or like they might be helpful in coming future or not, just for the sake of the sake of the day, I guess. I don't know, like sake of my character, I guess. Because like I'm too social, And then what do you
Uh,
Yeah.
think about
so
it? Like,
it's
have
I
you ever
think it's
tried
really good.
recycling?
It's really really good to meet with anybody. That's what I truly believe. You never know what the next person does, who he is, unless you go there and ask. So three key things that goes really well in Australia is first thing is ask. Second thing is always say please. Third thing is always say thank you. These things it will take you really far.
Yeah, it's like thank you is like complimentary things, you know. Thank you is like
Yep.
out of nowhere, everyone will say thank you, you know. It's like even though you do like you do smile, you pass a smile to someone. Thanks, mate. Cheers, mate. It's like out of nowhere they'll just come and they will just pass through you and cheers, mate. Thanks, mate. It's like pretty much normal, you know. Cause like I'm starting like I'm doing work on like Mac has and then like many people comes and go and then like sometimes like I even have to wipe the windows and then like people come and like you're doing all the windows mate and then like I was like I clapped mine and then like they're like, cheers man you're doing great man and then like just random conversation and then like
Well,
And
I'm wiping
too good. Like Australian culture, some of the thing in here is so good, man.
and then like
You can't
everything
get anywhere else in the world.
yeah
Yeah,
that's what I
definitely.
would say
yeah. And there
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
American culture where you get,
Yeah.
gunned randomly. Chris, beware, you're going to Texas.
See, my experience with talking with strangers, like even to this day, I mean, the adults are frank with it, the older people, but yeah, I discussed this in the previous podcast too. But whenever I'm approaching random strangers who are my age, they give me the look like, ew, like, what is this? Like, do people socialize in this day and age? And I'm out there in my high pitched tone, I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Kind of like that, and they hate those kind of people for some reason. And like even sometimes when all the strangers give me that look, sometimes I question myself whether like am I the faulty one here? Am I not supposed to do this? But my at the back of my mind, I always remind myself like, nah, man, you should not change yourself. Continue this. Let try and affect others. Don't let others influence you. Rather, influence others. And I'm going with it, even though like people might give me that look or something. But there are still one or two people who match my level. Match the vibe, match the energy. And I really appreciate that. And it is because of those one
So,
or two people that I have
so
the energy
question,
to ignore the
sorry to
100 people.
interrupt you there.
Yeah,
Are
so
they
if
vegetarian as well?
sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but the
Uh-huh.
people who match with your vibe, are they vegetarian
Yeah.
as well?
Rested?
Nice question. Are they
vegetarian
vegetarian, veg?
Oh, vegetarians? No, no,
I
no.
think
See, if
I think
if they were
they don't.
veg,
Yeah, they don't have to
see if
because
they were vegetarian,
yeah, yeah. Chris,
yeah,
continue.
yeah. If they were vegetarians, it would be more great, I guess, because I feel like vegetarian people are cool for some reason. They always have this quiet charm to themselves. I don't know, for some
yeah
reason. The vegetarian
yeah
peoples that I've actually met,
hey,
I don't know if
hey,
it's
hey,
science or something, but yeah,
Alpha Funny, honest
excluding myself.
question,
I'm not including
Alpha
myself, all right?
Funny, are you Alpha
No. And
Funny?
I'm not
Are you
including myself, but all the vegetarian people that I have met, for some reason, they are very patient and calm for some reason. They do not talk whatever comes in their mind. They are very reserved and they only like to tell things that they feel is right at that moment. And
We
I
all
mean,
disagree,
I
Chris.
haven't met,
You should stop. We should stop. We all disagree. And what I wanted to say is that
um,
you just feel, you feel like you guys belong together because they are veg. Because you
yeah,
see,
probably because of
you
that. Yeah.
you've got friends like us, and we are ready to take on even like human flesh. I will not go that far, but like we're ready to eat anything, right? So
Yeah.
you've got
Yeah.
friends like that, and if you see a veg, oh, this guy is cool because. Yeah, you'd feel like that
Competition.
naturally.
Yeah.
It's just your gut, you know. It's not that they're cool or something because they're
Yeah.
obviously, Tori, in Nepali. Yeah, all right, Hima.
Oscar.
Have you tried beef, Visalda?
Huh?
Have you ever tried beef?
Yeah, plenty.
Obviously. What do you mean? Like,
Actually,
Yeah.
but yeah.
You
when
like
going to
it?
Japan, I got the dish from it was Korean Airlines, and I got the dish. It was ramen or something like that, and I ate that. It was so tasty, and then later on, I don't know why, but I decided to look at the ingredients, and it said beef, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Like,
And
oh my
still,
goodness, I'll eat it again. Yeah.
I had finished up at that point, and when coming back as well, I didn't go for veg because now I've already eaten it.
Yeah. Once done, now never going back, you know. I know.
Yeah, they say
I don't know where this yeah,
they say
yeah.
starting out is the hardest thing, right? And yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like
See, I don't know where this topic for vegetarians and non-vegans came out, but as I was saying that people here, even though we feel like international people are more frank, more socializing, they are actually not. I mean, people of my age, they are definitely not. They hate talking with people, they hate interacting for some reason, but the adults are cool. Like the older people, I like how they talk, how they speak. They're really frank with things. And it's probably the same in Australia, but even the youngsters, they're pretty chill with it,
even
I
younger
guess.
are so chill. Like,
Yeah.
it's like question like I would like to point out to the youngster like, are you at your high school or you just finished your high school or you're going to uni or not? And that's my question, and they will be like, no, that's so boring. It's like, yeah, I'm just done with my high school, and they will be like, no, I don't feel like studying anymore because like people don't usually go up to the high studies here, I guess. Like they would rather go for the short course and then like be an electrician, plumbing, and then like technical skills, and then be one. Like I don't know what's the reason.
Hmm.
Like
maybe
they
maybe
want to
Bisala
work soon.
maybe
Yeah.
Bisala can elaborate if he knows about like why they through those path and not the casual, go to uni, take the degree path.
Hmm. Just giving my opinion about it, I feel like they're pretty much laid back, reserved. They are pretty financially well to do. They do not actually feel the urge to go out there and make a name for themselves. They're like, I'm just chilling, let me chill. Throughout my life, I want to chill, I'm chilling, and let me chill. Kind of like that mentality, I guess. I don't know. There's less competition, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure, but compared to us Asians, I feel like people outside are less competitive, and they're more focused on whether I'm well to do or not, and whether I can live out the rest of my life with the finances that I have right now. I guess.
So like so if you like if you want to compete with people out there, is so like it's so cheap competition out there really, like in terms of everything, like in terms of study, health, or like any like um, any sort of like what should I say, like productive stuff. It's been quite like easy. So while competing at my uni, even though like I was working my ass off, like I was doing like multiple works and then like multiple shift and multiple college times, like it was really easy for me to compete with every single person out there in any activities, like in terms of study, in terms of games, in terms of any kind of activities. Like so people here are basically, I would say, lazy. So
Hmm.
like you have got no competition. I would say lazy. Like so in terms of productive stuff, I would say lazy. Like they have got no, not all of them, but like most of them are like going easy on them. So like, what do you think, Visalda? Like I have never seen an Aussie guy like who said like, yeah, I had to do this, I had to do this. They will be like, yeah, I'm done with high schools, and then like, yeah, I will be most probably work for 6 months and then try thinking of joining any other other like work or like sort courses. I don't know. Visalda, are you still awake?
No, yeah, I'm trying very hard to stay awake. But I think the reason why they do it is because they get kicked out from their parents after the age of 18, and the parents are not very supportive. The first thing is that, and the Australian kids, there is a saying in Australia that is, in Australia you need to be aware of three things. One is spider, another one is snakes,
Fuck.
and third one is Australian teenagers. So
Yeah,
like
agree.
at very young age they get into drugs and shit like that.
Yeah, agree.
And could be that reason, family, drugs, and and, and they don't have ambitions like us. They're not hungry because the government feeds them.
It's like I would like to like add one more thing. Like I have one of my friend at my workplace who is like more than 25, and then like he's happy that he's working like 14 or 15 hours at Mac's and like he could survive, and then like he's really like I don't think so he's healthy. Like if I look to his like physical attire, and then like he have not done anything, and then like he's literally the happiest person. Like he's happy in his life, and I feel like how come you can be happy, how come you can feel so satisfied without doing anything?
But look, if you go back home now, so suppose Australia is your home. It's Nepal. All right,
Yeah,
you're not here to earn or anything like that. So, and you've got your friends. You've got Ananda. You've got Kusal, Niru, and Chris. Everyone there, and every single one of you, you're like, oh, let's just work 20 hours this week, and the rest of the days we'll just sit back and relax. What will you do? So having this, when people say that, the, be careful about where you spend most of your time with.
that's the fear inside me right now since I came here. So
So I think that's the inner circle as well. Like if it's not good, then it's not going to work.
I don't think so. Like I'm surrounded by good people. It's like even though even though if I try to do hard stuff like even if I try to do good stuff, like people around me, they will like try to pull me down or like demotivate me or like it's like you shouldn't be doing this or like you can't do this and this. I don't know. So that was the that was the concern. Like I started asking personal question since I started the poll, and then like I was waiting to ask this question from my mouth, but like this guy distracted the whole topic and like turn the whole topic to the 180, like from this to this, and then yeah,
So when I used to say to my friends, "Nah, I will get PR, I'll get job in IT," I said this to my friends like 3 or 3.5 years ago, or maybe 4 years ago. Everyone used to laugh at me,
this is I'm doing the same thing. Like
and you just got to do what you need to do, man.
That's
so like
it.
for me like I'm doing the double major right now. So like I switched from the single major to double major, and then like every single person that I meet was like they're like ah, bro, do you know what you doing? What you doing? And then like they're like even in this semester, like they were like uh, when I shared my story, like they would be like, "Come on, you can't even pass this unit or like this or that." And then like when I say them like, I I will go for SDD and I will not get less than SD or D, and then like I got that like except for the networking unit. So when I shared what I feel, everyone was just like booing me. I don't know.
Yeah, just don't, mate. Like, just do your work, I
Yeah,
guess. Because like you don't need to share it with them. Like if you need someone, we're here, right? So you don't really need
Look,
to.
I've given you task to achieve for next 6 months. You're busy with that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so getting
and
back to the topic, so it was a really interesting conversation on like why Aussie are so lazy and stuff, right? So it's a really great thing, like a really great question came to my mind because like even though Asians are really hardworking and stuffs, why is it that the most skilled manpower always come from the first world countries and not from maybe like Nepal or India? Because like if I look at my my sector, my work or whatever in ethical hacking, like the all the great people who have done really good research are always from the first world countries, whether it be US, UK, Australia as well. Mm, and why is it that those people who are lazy also have the most skilled people out there as well? Whereas like majority of people in like Nepal, India, or or countries like these, even though a lot of people are hardworking, they are not really producing any results. This is a really great question. Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, Chris and Priscilla can
Yeah,
definitely hop onto it.
that's $1 million question, mate. It's $1 million question.
So,
There's also a thing about how our education is more about quantity than quality, and it's the total opposite here in the US. Now that I'm studying here, I can feel how even though I am studying like a single subject or one or two subjects, but the quality is I cannot compare it with what I used to study in Nepal. But see, I had this discussion with my peers here in America, and what they believe is that the people that we see, the CEOs and all, right, the successful people, they're actually the minority of it. And the majority of the Americans, they are, we actually like, we actually have a high, great expectation or like great image of what Americans turn out to be. But the majority of them, they're actually not that great. And the leading people, the leading manpower in the companies actually are mostly Asians, where they come from Japan and China and all. And even when you look at leading companies, whenever you look at the second highest post or the third highest post, they're mostly Asians, not us, but the normal stereotypical Asians, right? And the few people, the few Americans that we think so highly of, they are actually the minority of these all of the whole community, and that's what my American friends told me. And even to certain extent, I do agree with it.
yeah, that's an interesting take. Yeah, with all the people we see, we only see those one who are on the top, right? And being in Nepal, I guess we are seeing all sorts of people. So like, yeah, it definitely makes sense. Yeah. What do you think, Vishal? Maybe the context in US and Australia is a bit different, or
Yeah, like Chris said, I think that's what it is. Um, if they raise kids to be skilled in one thing, so if you look at the foreigners in here, and if you ask them if you can you dance, they'll be like, if they say yes, they are really good dancers. Otherwise, the answer is no. Can you play guitar? Yes or no? That's the black and white. Look at us. We dance, we play instrument, we
Yeah.
go to gym.
Yep.
I play table tennis, basketball,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's they. I think what these guys they believe is it's better to be master of one than to be jack of all.
Yeah.
Chris would be
Or
happy.
I don't know if I've said it correctly. Jack of
Yeah.
all and master of
Yeah.
none, or
No, no, no,
I
you're
don't know.
right. You were right when you said it the first
Maybe
time.
this is one right.
Yeah, so like I also think like in terms of like, general life activities, being a jack of all would be a go-to thing, right? Because like if you can dance, if you can maybe play guitar, if you can, those are like basic life skills that you need to like enjoy the bare minimum, right? If you can't do that, like if you really need to, oh, this is a chore for me, I think you're not really, it's not that interesting thing, right? But like when it comes to master of one and jack of all, if it comes to like actually gaining these skills, like I would not consider like dancing like the normal dancing is a skill to gain, right? But in terms of like maybe there's some sort of technical thing that you want to master, and you are confused on whether you wanna like get the surface level knowledge of everything or like go in depth into one. I'd go for master of one, but in like general life stuffs, I think going for jack of all would be a better thing to do. Maybe sort of an all rounder.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, but even still, like we did have this discussion about how if we tend to have different opinions about this, right? And I actually believe like a person who's versatile in a lot of things is comparatively more not successful, but I feel like he is living a better life, you know?
Correct.
And
Because the study also proves that learning new skills um, helps you to eliminate the mental diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia.
mhm,
Whereas if
yeah,
Interesting.
you just
and
one thing and your mind
yeah,
is so concentrated on that, and then what if that's missing out there? You're done. There's nothing else.
yeah. And there's no need to be perfect at everything, you know. You just can be good or average at everything and be perfect at a single thing if you want to, you know. But I mostly believe on being average on everything. Like just have your hand in everything. You don't need to actually go and indulge in it, but if you feel like you really want to pursue it, you can. But just get your hands in everything, you know. Try and experience life and get everything out of all the things that life has to offer, you know. Get a taste of everything out there.
Yeah,
And
in terms
you
of
But
know,
experience, I definitely
there,
agree,
there
man.
if we keep on doing this, Chris, there will be no next Einstein. There will be no next fucking Mark Zuckerberg or whoever there are. No, we won't have one. Everyone
yeah,
will be so average and living the mediocre life. And
yeah. And I mean that's what I prefer, but there have to be people like Ananda too, like who really tend to specialize in a single thing. But me personally, like I can't just focus on a single thing and want to perfect it completely,
Chris,
but I just want to have my hand in everything.
oh,
Chris, you
look
have
at you go. He has started dancing now.
Yeah.
Chris, you've got
We
80.
started dancing now.
Chris,
Uh,
I think you have ADHD if you cannot focus on a single thing. You might need to get checked up.
It's not the brain rot, not the TikTok brain rot thing, man. It's not like I can focus on a subject. It's like I just don't want to perfect anything, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, definitely. In terms of experience, yeah, you're gonna experience lots of different things, but like, I think this is a topic we've already discussed. So yeah, the world needs both the specializers and the general, you know, I mean, like the jack of all trade
Yeah.
as well. So definitely a good
Yeah,
thing
And
to
see, like,
have diverse,
uh,
diverse,
yeah,
maybe diverse hobbies, diverse, ways of thinking, personalities. Yeah, it's a great thing to have
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and like if
the world needs the CEOs and the cleaners.
as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it
yeah.
is what it is, boys. I'll get going. You guys keep on. It's fucking 2 a.m. in the morning,
Yeah,
and I'm going
same
to spoke
here.
with
Same here. It's
Sabina
almost
today.
12 and I have to wake up at 4 a.m. I
God,
have to get up at 4 a.m.
what
Yeah.
she has done is she has done all of that.
Uh,
I can feel your pain.
Oh,
hashtag
there is more to
couple
it.
goals.
There is more
Has-
to it,
Oh
man.
my God. It goes on forever.
yeah, hashtag couple goals. Yeah.
All
Oh
right.
my
Oh my
goodness.
So
goodness.
after that, all of this has happened.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, me.
All right then. It was.
And this is quite funny. So she's waiting and she's skeleton. She,
Is that a meme?
I'm
Wow,
patiently
patiently
waiting.
waiting.
Yeah. I
Oh.
know.
Bismillah, you won in life.
All right then. I guess we had a pretty short podcast. I guess this time because like there's so much
It's not
stuff we
actually
could.
short.
Because I didn't
We
feel like
actually did like
I feel
we
like we
did
did.
at least 1 hour, 15 minutes.
Really?
And me failed. Because like we have to sleep and wake up to go work tomorrow.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that the talk felt so short because like there were so
Owen has just
interesting
fucking
things.
got up and he's going to bed after fucking 5 hours, so they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris
I
is
mean,
just wake up, so he have
So
full
so
day.
it's 8
He
a.m.
just
over
started.
there and it's fucking 8 p.m. over there. So
no,
why would they even care?
it's
Oh,
Hey,
almost.
me only 9, man.
I'm done,
I'm
man.
I'm hanging this because like it's about 12.
All right, so all right, man. All right, settle
All
down,
right.
settle down. All right, so I
Chill,
think
chill.
yeah. So this was definitely a great
But
part. We couldn't say farewell to Bismillah, unfortunately, because it's so late out there in Australia. And yeah,
Easy
Himal is
guy.
also
Yep.
really sleepy, so I'll do the ending. Himal, please don't take it personally. This is your you hosting, so don't worry. You're a bit passive this
yeah,
spot, so I'll take it over. Oh, the dude is gone, man. Oh, he's back. So anyway, yeah. So this was a really interesting part. I really wished we could have gone even deeper into the talks because, like, I felt like we were just getting started. It was like the talk was so
Yeah.
good. It felt so the time just flew, man. And yeah, we had a really interesting conversation with Bisala, and we didn't really particularly went for a single topic, but like went through variety of topic. We went jack of all trade in this part instead of master of one. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was an interesting talk, and really enjoyed it. I would like to thank Bisala for finally being here, and thanks to Himal. It's all because of his efforts he's here. And
Yep.
yeah, I guess this is pretty much it. If you have anything to add, Chris, please do, else we can end the pod.
Yeah, we would love to have Bisalla once again in this pod, and we are planning to have more guests in our future pod. We're at episode 9 with this, and hopefully we get some more guests. And I really want Bisalla to come back again whenever
Yeah,
he's free, and we could discuss more on this, right?
yeah.
But yeah,
Discuss some specific topics as well because like this was a really general one, right? So would love to do a deep dive on
yeah,
a specific topic. And yeah, I guess this is it, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it because finally, after such a long wait, we had Priscilla in our pod, and this was an interesting conversation. So yeah, we'll getting more guests as well, and Priscilla will definitely return, hopefully. And with that being said, I'd like to wrap up the ninth episode of ASL podcast. See you guys on the next one.